Hello and welcome to another update video about GALA. It might get another quiet weekend, might become another quiet weekend. GALA, as you can see nicely, is moving down the stairs of these Fibonacci extension levels that we identified, and you can see how relevant they are. It's quite interesting to see. Always interesting. Those were Fibonacci extension levels here, and the price moved down. This was also our target back then, yeah. Shouldn't say back then, it was last week. So we reached the target, consolidated. You can see how relevant this level was. It was one of the Fibonacci extension levels. We had another one just down here at 1.52 cents. Price then broke through. That was expected because it was just sort of hovering just above that support level, then broke through, landed at the next identified Fibonacci extension level. So we did identify these beforehand. It wasn't that we put the support level afterwards. And now it's trying to rally back to the previous Fib level and just touching it and getting rejected. So it's quite interesting to see how mathematics, and that's what it is essentially, is guiding this chart. Yeah, that's interesting. So far, certainly no change here to the structure. Yeah, just maybe the microstructure is moving up a little bit, but very, very, very much corrective. So as I highlighted to the last video, and I don't even need to change that level because we didn't make a new low, the resistance at the moment, which is relevant, against which we focus on the downside, is 1.674 cents. So it would take at a minimum a break above that level to get an understanding that the downward impulse, which is currently unfolding, is breaking. So the focus remains on the downside against that resistance level of 1.67 cents. Only a break above that, especially if it's in 5 waves, would indicate that something more bullish is going on. But yeah, it can basically do anything below that. What you need to understand, there are obviously these previous supports on the microstructure. They could act as resistance now, which they do. But even if it goes higher than that, it would not necessarily be bullish. But obviously, again, I highlighted many times, a lot of these coins are now getting oversold on the daily time frame. And I've got the feeling that maybe in a few months we're sitting here and we're looking back and we're saying, okay, those were prices, you know, they, I mean, with GALA, obviously we've got the uncertainty around the fundamentals. So obviously that, again, but that's the problem with any project, with any crypto projects, fundamentals are not to be trusted, which means basically what I want to communicate here is, you know, they are not, any altcoin shouldn't really be seen predominantly as investment quality asset. It's more like for trade setups, and at the moment the trend is down, so I would generally focus on the short side, even though now on the GALA chart, for example, we've now reached the support area, right? So you don't necessarily want to be aggressively shorting the support area, but now that we've arrived at the target, I think it's more like watching for potential reversal signals, and then if a setup shows, you know, if the setup is good, there might be a long setup coming, right? So as I always say, you know, it's more like waiting for the setups and what the chart tells us instead of focusing on the fundamentals. I have no problem to go long, to trade an asset or any coin on the long side, even if it's pretty bad from a fundamental point of view, if the setup is there, right? Because why not? You know, why not? You can put your stop and then you get out if it doesn't work. But that's the difference between sort of trading based on technicals and the fundamentals, which are, in my opinion, should be sort of disregarded in crypto anyway. I mean, not fully disregarded. They come into play when it's all about, okay, do I put something into my portfolio as an investment asset, which again, I don't think altcoins are. They are good for swing trading, yes, and maybe even on the larger time frames. But you need to watch them like a hawk. That's what you have to do, because they break often, and they are, you know, there's lots of problems with these projects and funding and all sorts of stuff, tokenomics, dilution, everything. So yeah, just be aware of that. But so far, no change on the GALA chart really here. So we remain focused on the downside. Next support remains at 1.351 cents, and then 1.299, and then 1.18. These are the next support levels to watch, and also the next downside targets that should be reached should price stay below 1.67 cents, which is at the moment still the primary scenario. But obviously, as I said, we're now in the target range, yeah, and we're just watching for reactions at one of these, or at each of these Fib levels that we identified. So the chart is pretty clear, the analysis as well. So it's just waiting for signals now. But until a signal shows that the trend is shifting back to the upside, we remain focused on the downside. Also, the GALA price is still moving in this larger descending price channel. So yeah, that's my update about GALA. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.